I'm Nick Snow, watching Government for Oil and Gas Journal in Washington, D.C. Lucio Noto supplied interesting details as he reminisced April 29th about the merger which created ExxonMobil Corporation in 1999. He also made some remarkable observations about the oil and gas business and governments, both foreign and domestic, today. I suspect there will be more mergers and acquisitions in this industry, the former Mobil Corporation chairman told an audience at Johns Hopkins University's School for Advanced International Studies. We will need to develop oil and gas resources for the next 25 years. The amount of energy the world needs will be 35 to 40% more than it uses now. If I were the U.S. administration, I'd be looking for a way to turn fossil energy into acceptable liquid fuels instead of concentrating on wind or solar power. Noto said that refining and marketing joint ventures between multinational oil companies in the mid to late 90s led a few chief executives to wonder about full mergers. He and then Exxon chairman Lee Raymond had briefly discussed this when BP bought Amoco in 1998. And then their talks grew serious. Their biggest surprise after they announced Exxon's planned acquisition of Mobil the following December 1st was how much time they spent to satisfy Federal Trade Commission requirements. Noto said this worked in the company's favor as they completed the combination's final details. Asked about today's merger and acquisition climate, Noto replied, "I happen to think the midstream is a very interesting place to be. I'd like to see companies in the midstream doing more. If an upstream company wants to get involved, it shouldn't try to build a pipeline. It should try to get together with a midstream company." He expects transportation bottlenecks to remain a challenge. The products export debate will be interesting. It could have more telling consequences in the short term. Gasoline prices are badly depressed now, which is discouraging investments, Noto said. Asked about matching U.S. refining with growing domestic crude production, he said a failure to construct new U.S. refineries is the actual problem. Many existing plants were built piecemeal, with capacity incrementally added over 40 to 50 years, so that liquids at high temperatures and pressures travel comparatively long distances, Noto said. Middle Eastern export refineries, where everything is close together, are much more efficient and economical, he observed. New U.S. refinery proposals face fierce local opposition and difficult financing economics, Noto conceded. He hoped the intense Keystone XL crude oil pipeline debate would lead to plants being built closer to production, with products shipped to heavily populated markets. If you look at product prices near refineries in the inland U.S., they're lower than elsewhere, he said on April 29th. That's Watching Government for this week. In Washington, I'm Nick Snow for Oil and Gas Journal.